Southeastern Louisiana Sports Report presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Chris Mycoskie, coming to you from outside Bayard Hall in the middle of campus where students have wrapped up their exams. The fall semester is over, so it's a great time to look back on what happened in Southeastern athletics. We'll start with Athletic Director Bart Bellairs and get his thoughts on Lion football as Southeastern wrapped up the 2010 season with a loss to Nichols in the Riverbelt Classic. We'll also talk to him about Southeastern volleyball as they concluded their season. Then we'll head to the University Center and hear from Lori Davis-Jones, head coach of the Lady Lions, following their 5-0 start. Then it's the men's program and head coach Jim Yarborough as the Lions head on a 7-game road trip during the holiday season. We'll also talk to Sean Brady of the Southeastern track and field program. Their season begins in January. Finally, it's our Learn from the Lions tip. Head golf coach Tim Baldwin gives us a lesson on the driving range. All that coming up on the Southeastern Louisiana Sports Report presented by State Farm.
Yes. No.
There for you.
Yes. No.
When you're in a tight spot.
Yes. No. You've got to be kidding me.
State Farm agents Celine Tingle in Mandeville and Michael L. Smith in Lafayette are there for you. Call to start saving today.
Jack Nicklaus once said, "There is no room in your mind for negative thoughts. The busier you keep yourself with the particulars of shot assessment and execution, the less chance your mind has to dwell on the emotional. This is sheer intensity."
In the tournament, everyone needs a hero. Will your team have that hero? The 2011 State Farm Southland Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8 through 12 at the Leonard E. Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. For tickets, call 1-866-630-2323 or go to Ticketmaster.com. This is where heroes are born and the madness begins.
As a student athlete at Southeastern, I was always looking for that connection between athletics and academics.
This study is really beneficial to aid people in getting back to healthy exercise while using less resistance.
Southeastern encourages students to be involved with certain kinds of research. They care about the student.
It really feels good to get the opportunity at Southeastern to participate in undergraduate research and contribute to something that's going to affect people's lives.
This is the Southeastern Louisiana University Sports Report presented by State Farm. I'm Chris Mycoskie. We've come to the end of the fall semester, so a great time to look back on what's happened and look ahead to what's coming up in the winter semester here at Southeastern Louisiana. No better person to talk about those subjects than Athletic Director Bart Bellairs. And Bart will start with the shining light of the athletic department during the fall semester. The soccer team, Blake Hornbuckle, his student athletes, really doing a fantastic job. That success just keeps on going.
Well, Blake has done a great job. If you look at the past 6 years, he's either won it or been in the finals, and I think that separates you from having good teams and having a great program. Programs can lose players, but they continue to succeed, and Blake has done an outstanding job at that. I was very happy with the girls, both on and off the field. They've done an amazing job.
Maybe the front door, I guess you could say, to the athletics department is the football program. Most butts in the seats and most attention as far as Southeastern Athletic goes. 2-9 season, disappointing certainly, but as we look ahead to the coming year, still have a recruiting class that went unmatched in the country this past season. A lot of those players redshirted, so we'll get to see a lot of those guys next year. Some future success certainly seems to be in the cards for the Lions on the football side.
Well, I think so. I think, when your recruiting is that good, where you're rated the number one, and you've redshirted all those athletes, that, you're feeling very good about the future of the program. And we do feel like that it's going to be an up-and-coming program. We need it to be an up-and-coming program because, again, it starts the fall and everybody's excited about the new year. We were disappointed, and I think as much not disappointed in, but for them. There's a lot of games that were lost by 1 point, a couple by 3, and we could have very easily been 8-3 on the season instead of 2-9.
Rough go for the volleyball team, 1 win in conference play, and I know you wanted to tell everybody about a change in leadership with the volleyball program.
Well, we've got a lot of young kids, and so at this time I know we're going to explore. We don't know who's going to come in to be our volleyball coach. That process is going on as we speak. We're taking applications, but I want that program, like any program, we feel like we can win in it, and I really feel like with the young kids we have in the program that it's got a bright future.
The present right now is basketball. Obviously, they're already started on the hardwood over at the University Center. High expectations will start with the men picked to win conference by the sports information directors, the division rather of the Southland Conference, and certainly will be a favorite when it comes to the conference tournament in Katy. Coach Yarborough has put together a great squad. I know you're excited about what they can do.
Oh, yeah, and I traveled with them to Vegas. I don't know if it was to necessarily see them play or to, no. They do a great job. Jim, again, is one of those people that year after year has developed such a good program. Anytime you lose a guy like Patrick Sullivan, a 6'9" powerhouse is now playing in the NMDA Development League, and then yet the sports information directors and the coaches have so much respect for your program that they pick you either number 1 or 2, you're doing something right.
And Lori and the women's program, some great senior leadership, and Chelsea Hicks and others on that ball club. You go to one of those games, they're going to be running and gunning and shooting the threes. It's an exciting brand of basketball.
Well, I believe that you're exactly right on that. I think there were games last year where we might have scored 40 points in the whole game. Now we'll kind of be disappointed if we don't score them at halftime. Lori has reinvented it a little bit. She's gone back with her assistants, and they've gone to some clinics, and she said, you know what, we're going to change things up. And I think that's a sign of what coaches should try to do. If things aren't working exactly the way you want to and you want to pick it up, you need a catalyst. And Lori Jones done that, and they've started off with a great start, playing some great competition, and they've got a lot of good young kids and some great senior leadership, so we're expecting big things.
Bart Bellairs, athletic director, of course, we visit with him regularly here on the Southeastern Louisiana Sports Report. Hear much more from him next semester as baseball, softball, track, all those other things get going, and we head towards the conference tournament in basketball.
Oh, wait, really? A sandwich to a restaurant again? Seriously?
Yeah, I need to save money somehow.
Unreal. What?
The things people do to save money these days, when they could just call State Farm. You see, State Farm insures 40 million drivers. That's more than Geico and Progressive combined. So talk to the people you trust.
Then call State Farm agents Tony Simo or Ab Flint.
And see how you could get discounts up to 40%.
Dreams are forged. Character is tested. Teams are united. Champions win here. Come see the crowning of a new champion at the 2010 NCAA Division I Football Championship, January 7th, 2011. For information, visit ncaa.com/tickets.
The Lion Athletic Association, winning championships one student athlete at a time. Through the Championship Fund, the LAA provides financial support for scholarships, operations, and facilities. Join today and make a huge impact on Southeastern student athletes. For more information on the Lion Athletic Association, call 985-549-3227 or visit lionsports.net.
I love to do research. I'm a numbers gal. People working on the New York Stock Exchange are using the same machine that I'm able to use at Southeastern.
I'm working with Krista in tracking Louisiana-based companies using a Bloomberg technology, doing the analysis for a quarterly publication that's housed here at Southeastern. A project like this will make our students extremely competitive in a global environment.
I'm bringing what I learned in the classroom to an entirely different level.
This is the Southeastern Louisiana Sports Report presented by State Farm. The Southeastern women's basketball team starting the year 5-0. The leader of the Lady Lions joins us now, Lori Davis-Jones, following a win over Jackson State to get to that 5-0 record. Kelli Jenkins taking the decisive shot to put the Lady Lions ahead at the end. Had to like having the ball in her hand with closing seconds coming up.
Well, you know, Chris, she was on fire and rolling from the beginning of the game. And then when our momentum shifted, so did her game a little bit. And it was really good to see her grow as our starting point guard and see her just take control of what she knew needed to happen.
And really this whole team fired up to get that 5-0 start. They knew how important it was, considering it's been a number of years since Lady Lions have had that kind of a start.
Yeah, back in my playing days. You know, that's when I think I was a sophomore is what Kimmy reminded me of when we had a 6-0 start. So it's an outstanding accomplishment early on. It's good to get tested against the Jackson State game in order to prepare us for what the rest of our schedule looks like and into conference play.
I wanted to ask you about that challenge because the first few games against Division III squads maybe not the best of tests, but Jackson State coming out of the SWAC, only a couple years removed from an NCAA tournament berth, a really good test coming in here to the UC.
Yeah, and they played hard all the way through. At one point we were up by 17, and I thought they were going to kind of lay down, but they hit a couple shots and got back going again and just chipped away slowly at the game. So it was good to see the game swing as it did, and it was good to see us regain our composure and the momentum and hit the last shot.
As we wrap up the beginning of the season here, maybe talk about what you're most excited about seeing with this ball club and what you'd most like to see improve over the next month or so.
Well, we've got to improve on rebounding. Jackson State dominated us on the boards. We haven't completely won the rebounding war every night. Offensive, defensive rebounds, percentage of margin rebounds, things like that. So we have to do a better job of blocking our opponent out and rebounding. We have to continue to work on our new style of basketball and know when we need to push the tempo and know when the tempo needs to push, but yet we need to run our stuff and execute in the half court. So we'll continue to grow with that too. And it's good to see us get a win against Jackson State when they took the lead late in the game and chipped all the way through because I think we can continue to grow our offense in that direction.
Lady Lions undefeated here in the early part of the season. Conference will be here before you know it. The Lady Lions have 3 games against in-state rivals before getting into Southland Conference play. First, it's a game against the Centenary Ladies in Shreveport before coming back to the University Center for a matchup with the Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns. A short trip to New Orleans is next for a game against the Tulane Green Wave. Then it's the SLC opener at Stephen F. Austin. We continue on the Southeastern Louisiana Sports Report presented by State Farm, coming to you from the University Center following the Lady Lions win over Jackson State, giving Southeastern a 5-0 start in women's basketball. And the hero of the night, Kelli Jenkins. And Kelli, will start from the end, I guess, and work our way back. But the end, the final shot, putting the Lions ahead, easy does it, right? I mean, you knew you had them all the way.
I knew I had it, but like Coach Lori always tells me, leading direct. So I put the team on my back, take all the pressure, go up with the last shot.
When you got the ball in your hand, was there any question in the world that you were going to be the one going to the basket?
Oh, no doubt. I was going all the way. I wasn't passing it. If I would have passed it, I probably would have gotten in trouble.
Well, let's talk about the rest of the game then. Maybe not a career night for you, but still really good numbers against what I think most people would probably consider to be the first real challenge of the season for you guys.
Yeah, it's the first real challenge. We never really had competition like tonight. It was a close game, pulled it off, handled the pressure a little bit better next time, but we got to work our way up, so we'll start right here and build on up for our next game.
Division III colleges dominating the schedule in the early part before we get to this game against Jackson State out of the SWAC, but still a 5-0 start. You got to beat who's in front of you, so what does that record mean to you guys?
5-0. Coach Lori told us before we left the locker room, 4-0 was a long time since she been here, so we trying to build on it, set records, try to go 5-0. We did tonight.
Kelli Jenkins, again, the hero of the night as the Lady Lions move to 5-0.